Good morning. Did you all go through the topics what we have discussed in the previous class? Can anyone summarize what are the topics we have learnt in the previous class? I have enabled chat box. Yes. Venkateshwar has responded as Geo Center, Grade, Satellite Period. So now let's get, what is that? A quick view of whatever we have discussed. That is, we have discussed about the retrograde, grade, height of the satellite, period of the satellite, and what other parameters we have discussed in the previous class. Can anyone tell? Grade, satellite period. Yes. Can anyone tell what is grade? Or before that, can anyone tell what is the geocenter? Yes, Kanimoli has replied in the chat box. See, probably don't send private messages to me in the chat box. You put it in the, to everyone in the chat box so that others can also see what the correct answer is. So this is about the orbital dynamics, and this is the coverage, and these are the topics which we had discussed in the previous class. So we started with the orbital dynamics, and these are the important parameters that we need to understand. This is about the circular orbit, satellite orbit, and this is the elliptical satellite orbit, and this is about the orbital plane. Okay, and this is about the geocenter. Geocenter is nothing but it is going to be the center of the earth. Okay, center of gravity of the earth is called to be the geocenter. So as many of you have not responded, let me talk about the Posigrade again. Let us recollect what the Posigrade orbit is. So if the direction of the satellite rotation is same as the direction of Earth's rotation, it is going to be the Posigrade orbit. Okay. So that orbit, the direction of rotation of the satellite is same as the rotation of the Earth. That is, Earth rotates from west to east. Okay, we all know that. So in the same way, the satellite also rotates in the same direction Earth as the Earth. So that orbit is called to be Posigrade orbit. Okay, whereas the counterpart is called to be the retrograde orbit. Here, the direction of the satellite rotation is against the direction of the Earth's rotation. So most of the satellites will be placed in the Posigrade orbit, which will be having the same direction of rotation as the Earth's rotation. Okay, that is about Posigrade orbit and retrograde orbit. So don't forget these important terminologies. So that is why I keep on repeating. Okay. And then we discussed about the satellite height. Satellite height is normally nothing but it is going to be the height of the satellite from the Earth's surface. So it is actually calculated along with the radius of the Earth's curvature also. So we need to consider the radius of the Earth. So this is a question I have asked in the assignment also. So how do you calculate the height of the satellite in a circular orbit? So probably it is going to be the height of the satellite above the Earth's surface plus the radius of the Earth. So we need to consider the radius of the Earth as well. Then the satellite of the Earth, that is satellite height in the circular orbit. So this is how it is calculated. And coming to the elliptical orbit, it is showing the, what is that, perigee and apogee distance. So the height of the satellite is not going to be the uniform here. Okay, so it is going to vary as it is in the elliptical shape. Okay, so that is what is that? The distance that is very closer to the Earth's surface is called to be the perigee, and the distance which is very far away from the Earth's surface, it is going to be the apogee. So these are the different heights of the satellites in the elliptical orbit. And this is about this has satellite height in the elliptical orbit. So this we had seen in the previous class itself. And coming to the satellite speed, and the speed varies according to the distance of the satellite from the Earth. There is the satellites which are very closer to Earth, it will be very fast. And when it is very far away from the Earth's surface, the speed is going to be very less. So it will be reduced. Okay. So normally the speed of the satellite is calculated with respect to the distance of the satellite from the Earth's surface. And we talked about the satellite period, that is the rotation, complete rotation of the satellite in its orbit. So how long it takes, the time taken by the satellite to complete one or full orbit is going to be the period. So it is also called as the sidereal period. So normally how it is calculated means it is calculated with reference to the, what is that position with respect to the sun. Normally the fixed object they'll be calculating, but practically it is not possible to calculate with respect to the fixed object sun as a reference. So we'll be making use of this longitudinal parameters. Okay, so the another method of expressing the time for one orbit is called the revolution or synodic period. So this is also an important parameter. So one particular meridian will be fixed and that will be considered. So what is the time difference for the successive passes of the satellite over a fixed given meridian of the Earth's longitude? So based on that, the satellite period is calculated. How it is calculated? It is normally expressed in terms of hours. So the total rotational period range from about, that is 11/2 hours for a satellite at a distance of 100 miles from the Earth's surface. And it is going to be 24 hours for a satellite which is placed at a height of 22,300 miles approximately. So this is how the satellite periods are calculated. So then we'll talk about one important parameter. It's going to be the angle of inclination. Angle of inclination means the position. So what that is the face of that satellite should be focused. What is the angle at which the satellite should be placed in its orbit, which is focusing the Earth's surface. So that angle of inclination is very, very important. Only the correct angle of the satellite placed in the with the correct angle of inclination is only going to send the signals correctly. Okay. So now let us see what is angle of inclination is. So the correct definition of angle of inclination is the angle of inclination of a satellite orbit is the angle formed between the line that passes through the center of the Earth and the North Pole. So the line passes through the center of the Earth and the North Pole, and the line that passes through the center of the Earth but that is perpendicular to the orbital plane. So well, we all know that what orbital plane is it not? Do you all remember what is orbital plane? So this is going to be the orbital plane. Do you remember? So this is going to be the orbital plane. Okay, so we need to consider that parameter also. So what is angle of inclination? So angle of inclination is the angle formed between the line that passes through the center of the Earth and the North Pole. So we need to consider the center of the Earth and the North Pole. You should draw an imaginary line. So the angle formed between that line and the line that passes through the center of the Earth and that is perpendicular to the orbital plane. Perpendicular to the orbital plane means it is at 90 degree to the orbital plane. Okay, so that angle is called to be the angle of inclination. So this angle of inclination normally determines the coverage of signal for the Earth station. Okay, that is so the satellite should be placed with the correct angle of inclination in order to have a good coverage range of signals. So it is determined. So again I tell what is angle of inclination of the satellite orbit. So it is the angle of inclination of a satellite orbit is the angle formed between the two lines. The two lines are nothing but the first line is a line drawn from the center of the Earth to the North Pole, and a line that passes through the center of the Earth and that is also perpendicular to the orbital plane. So that angle is called to be the angle of inclination. So this satellite orbits can have angle of inclinations between that is 0 through 90. So this is the 90 is the maximum angle of inclination. So beyond that 90, it is going to be in a what is that obtuse angle. So it will be away from that particular range of coverage. It will go out of the plane, orbital plane. So what happens? There will not be any coverage of signal. Do you understand? So another definition of angle of inclination is the angle formed between the equatorial plane. We can talk in the terms of that what is the geosynchronous orbits as that is the angle formed between the equatorial plane and the satellite orbital plane as the satellite enters the northern hemisphere. So whenever the satellites are entering the northern hemisphere, that is the polar orbits. Okay, so in that case, the angle of inclination is going to be the angle between the equatorial plane and the satellite orbital plane as the satellite enters the northern hemisphere. So when the angle of inclination is 0, the satellite is directly above the equator. So when you tell the angle of inclination, if it is 0, it is directly above the equatorial plane. So when the angle of inclination is 90 degree, the satellite passes over North Pole and South Pole. Once that is North Pole and South Pole, either it is in the North Pole or in the South Pole, that is across the poles. Okay, so it is going to be a perpendicular with respect to the, what is that, equatorial plane. Do you understand? That is, if the, can you understand, can you imagine? That is, if it is going to be the angle of inclination with respect to the equatorial plane, if it is going to be the 0, it is along the equatorial plane. Okay, it is the directly above the equator. Okay, and if it is going to be 90, what happens? Obviously, it is across the poles, either North Pole or South Pole. So this is the angle of inclination. So the angle of inclination should be between 0 to 90 degree. That is going to be the angle of inclination of the satellite orbit. Now let us see how. So with 0 degree inclination, generally are called to be the equatorial orbits. As I told you, if the angle of inclination is 0 degree, they are called to be equatorial orbits. The orbits with inclinations of 90 degree, they are called to be polar orbits across the North Pole and South Pole. Also we have, when the satellite has an angle of inclination, the orbit is said to be either ascending or descending orbit. Okay, normally it is called to be ascending or descending orbit. So as the satellite moves from south to north across the equator, so when the satellite is rotating from, so it is going to be, that is that PSLV satellites are normally placed, they'll be revolving around the North Pole and South Pole. Okay, so the satellite, when it moves from north to south across the equator, the orbit is called to be ascending orbit. Okay, and the counterpart is when the satellite goes from north to south across the equator, it is going to be the descending orbit. So this is normally calculated with respect to the equator. So as I told you, the angle of inclination is also calculated with respect to the equatorial plane. If the angle of inclination is 0 degree, they are not 0 degree, it is normally called as the equatorial orbits. If it is going to be 90 degree, it is called to be the polar orbits. And also we classify that as either ascending orbit or descending orbit. Ascending orbit means if the satellite is moving from south to north, South Pole to North Pole, and it passes the equator, that orbit is called to be ascending orbit. And when satellite goes from north to south, it is called to be the descending orbit. So now let us see the pictorial representation of how the satellite, that is angle of inclination, is calculated. So first, what did we talk? So first, what is that? It is the angle formed between the line, that is formed between a line, you see. Okay, so what is the first definition we had seen about angle of inclination? Angle of inclination is the angle formed between the two lines. The first line is, that is the line drawn from the center of the earth to the North Pole, center of the earth to the North Pole, and the line that is perpendicular to the orbital plane. Okay, so in this diagram, this line, the slope is called to be the edge view of the orbital plane. So this is the orbital plane. See, listen carefully. This is the orbital plane. So the angle formed between the, what is that? So the perpendicular, this orbital plane is this dotted blue line. The perpendicular means the 90 degree. Okay, so the perpendicular to this orbital plane is going to be the dotted blue line. So the angle formed between the line that is drawn from the center of the earth to the North Pole and the perpendicular that is drawn for the line that is drawn as a perpendicular to the orbital plane. So this is going to be the first definition of angle of inclination. So this is going to be the perpendicular to orbital plane. So I repeat, the first definition of angle of inclination goes like this. So it is the angle formed between the two lines. The first line is going to be the line that is drawn from the center of the earth to the north pole, and the line that is perpendicular to the orbital plane. So this is the angle. So this angle is going to be the angle of inclination. Okay, so the second definition with respect to the equatorial plane. So it is going to be the angle formed between the equatorial plane. So this is going to be the equatorial plane. Okay, so this is the orbital plane which is not in the equatorial plane. This is the another orbital plane. So that is going to be the equatorial plane across the equator of the earth. So this is the angle formed between the equatorial plane and the orbital plane. Okay, so this is also known as the angle of inclination, and this is the perpendicular to the equatorial plane. So this line is going to be the perpendicular to the equatorial plane. Obviously we know that this is the geocenter, the center of gravity of the earth, or it is going to be the center of the earth. Do you understand? So the angle of inclination, we have two definitions for the normal orbital plane as well as the equatorial plane. So it is the angle formed between the lines. That is, the first line is going to be the line drawn from the center of the earth to the north pole, and the perpendicular that is drawn for the orbital plane. So this is first definition of angle of inclination. The second definition is with respect to equatorial plane. So the angle formed between the equatorial plane and the orbital plane. So this is the another definition of angle of inclination. And also we discussed about two important terms, that is the ascending orbit and descending orbit. So when the satellite is moving from the south to north across the equatorial plane, it is going to be the ascending orbit. And when the satellite is moving from north pole to south pole, passing the equator, it is going to be the descending orbit. Okay, so what are the parameters we have discussed here? So the two definitions for the angle of inclination with respect to the orbital plane as well as with respect to the equatorial plane. And the next two parameters are ascending orbit and the descending orbit. So this angle of inclination is for the orbital planes. Okay, so and also we also discussed the two important points, that is the range of angle of inclination should be between 0 to 90 degree. So if it is 0 degree in this plane, so it is across the equator. Let us say if the angle, so this angle will be 0, is it not? So if it is 0 degree, what happens? The satellite is exactly at the equator, above the equator. Okay, and if it is going to be 90 degree, it is exactly, what is that? It is exactly across the north pole or south pole. So this also you can consider. Okay, so it is going to be in the north pole or south pole with respect to the equator. So this is going to be the angle of inclination. So when it is going beyond this 90 degree, what happens? It will be totally out of coverage. Is it not? From the earth station. So normally this angle of inclination is important for the satellite coverage and the positioning of the earth's ground station. So only within this angle of inclination, what happens? We will be able to have a good coverage of signals from the satellite. For this, it is an important parameter. So before launching and placing the satellite in its orbits, this orbital calculations and the angle of inclination, everything has to be made. So based on that only, the orbits are decided and the satellites will be placed in the respective orbit. Do you understand? Yes. We'll move on to the next topic. Okay. Okay, Manana, Halya, Anjali. Only very few people are responding. Remaining people I don't know. Rashmi Naya, Ritvika. Ratna Sai has a question. Yes, yes. Ratna Sai has questioned me. What is that? What is orbital plane and equatorial plane? No, that is going to orbital plane means the orbit at which the satellites, so that this is going to be the orbital plane. Equatorial plane means it could be the satellite orbital plane also. Okay, so it is across the equator. Okay, do you understand, Ratna Sai? Orbital plane means it is the plane at which the satellite is orbiting. Let me go to that previous diagram. Okay. You see, do you remember this? Yes. So this is going to be the orbital plane. So across the equator, if the orbit is for geosynchronous satellites and all, it will be across the equator. Okay, it will be in a fixed, what is that, circular orbit. So that is the equatorial plane. Okay, so this line, a horizontal line that is drawn, that is called to be the equatorial plane, and this is the orbital plane at which the, what is that, satellite is orbiting. So this orbit, this equatorial plane is considered for finding the angle of inclination of the orbital plane. Do you understand my point? So the Earth is here. Across the equator, we have the equatorial plane. So this angle of inclination of the orbital plane is the plane at which the satellite is going to orbit. So not always the satellites are orbiting across the equator. So it will be in this plane. Okay, so orbital plane is the plane at which the satellite is going to orbit. It will be like this. Not exactly across the poles or not exactly across the equator. It will be, what is that, like a kind of slanting or slope in this sphere. Okay, that is going to be the orbital, satellite orbital plane. It is the plane in which the satellite is going to orbit. Whereas the equatorial plane is the standard plane. So we are going to calculate to position the orbital plane, that is the angle of inclination of the satellite orbital plane with respect to the equatorial plane. So this equatorial plane, it is going to be fixed. So this orbital plane, we have to decide at which we have to position the satellite. Is it not? So that is decided based on the angle of inclination. So how this angle of inclination is calculated? With respect to the equatorial plane and the polar line. Okay, do you understand? So let me come to the diagram here. See? So this is going to be the orbital plane in which we are going to place the satellite in order to orbit around the Earth. Okay, so it's going to be a kind of ring like structure that is going to rotate with the across the Earth curvature. And this is the imaginary plane. So how this plane is decided? Based on the angle of inclination. Do you understand? So it would be calculated with respect to the, what is that? The North Pole or the equatorial plane. That is why we have two definitions. So within this angle of inclination determines at which the orbit has to be decided for placing the satellite. Okay, so that is going to determine the angle, or what is that, orbital position of the orbital plane. So if it is, what is that, angle of inclination is 0, means it is exactly revolving across the equator, above the equator. If it is going to be 90 degree, it is going to exactly revolve around the, what is that, polar orbit. So if I show one more diagram, you will understand. You see, so this is going to be the orbital plane that is decided. Do you understand? Okay, and you see, this is going to be the equatorial plane. So this is the polar plane, and this is the geosynchronous. So I'll tell in detail. Ratna Sir, at this moment, do you understand what is angle of inclination is? Orbital plane and other things? Okay. Any other doubt? So we have to determine what is the position, at which angle we have to place the satellite. So we are not physically going to draw a line. It is all imaginary. But we should position the satellite so that it rotates across the Earth, and that is going to be the orbital plane. Okay, so it is calculated based on the equatorial plane and the poles. Okay, so we'll move ahead. Okay. So as I told you, ascending orbits and descending orbits. So now we have decided, so the satellite is going to orbit in this orbital plane. So this is going to be the orbit. So this is going to be the Earth's surface, and this is the equator, and this is the North Pole and the South Pole. So now we have calculated the angle of inclination for this orbital plane to be this. This is the angle of inclination. So at that position, we have to launch the satellite. Suppose we are launching the satellite from here, so it will be taking up this place, and it will be starting to rotate across this orbital plane. Okay, it will not go away from this orbital plane. It will keep on rotating in this orbital plane only. So that will be decided based on the angle of inclination with respect to the equatorial plane. Okay, so as I told you, ascending orbit and descending orbit. So when the satellite is going from South Pole towards the North Pole, it is going to be the ascending part of the orbit. Is it clear? There is going to be the ascending part of the orbit. Then after coming from satellite rotating from, moving from this North Pole to South Pole, that is going to be the descending part of the orbit. Moving from North Pole to South Pole. Okay, this is clear. This is going to be the ascending part moving from South Pole to the North Pole, and this is the descending part moving from North Pole to the South Pole. Okay, these are all important terminologies. Next, you see the difference between the elliptical and the circular orbit. So as I told you here, so this is the Intelsat geostationary circular orbit. This you see, geostationary orbit. These 3 satellites will be having a full coverage, all 24/7. So whatever signals that is being, so it will be rotating along with the rotation of the speed of the Earth. So what happens? It will be looking like a stationary object for that particular area. It will be fixed. Is it clear? So whereas you see, when Earth is rotating, if some object is fixed, means how, which means that it also rotates along with the speed of the Earth. So that satellites are called to be geostationary orbits. Always it will be fixed. We might think that it is fixed always. It is not fixed. That also rotates along with the speed of the Earth. Okay, so whatever range area signal is being taken from here, that will be captured by this satellite. And if you want to communicate with the people who are at the other side, how they will communicate? The signal from here, it will be communicated directly to this satellite, and the people from there, they will be communicating through this satellite. Same way, it will be communicating to us, transferring, sharing information from this satellite to this satellite, and that will be giving coverage. So all 24/7, this geostationary satellite will be rotating. It is going to be the circular orbit, which is placed in the equatorial plane. Okay, it is not going to move away from that. So this is another orbit, satellite orbital plane is going to be Molniya or highly elliptical orbit. You see, so it's going to be elliptical orbit. So what is the angle of inclination here? You see, so this is the equatorial plane, and this is the orbital plane of this particular elliptical orbit, and this is going to be the angle of inclination. Okay, so and also it is going to be the elliptical. So this distance is going to be perigee. Okay, and this distance is going to be apogee. Okay, so this is an elliptical orbit, and this is the circular orbit. So this is another such diagram. So this is going to be the geostationary. What is that? Geosynchronous orbit. Okay, so it is going to be across the equatorial plane. So it is going to be a perfect circular orbit. Okay, so the height of the satellite will be fixed here, as well as the speed of the satellite will be fixed here. Okay, so this is going to be the geosynchronous or geostationary orbits. Normally, these satellites will be launched with the help of GSLV. You remember that whenever they are launching a satellite, they will give names. GSLV, that is the launch vehicle which is going to carry that satellite. And GSLV represents, it is going to carry the satellite and it is going to place in the geostationary orbit or the geosynchronous orbit. Okay, so which will have the same speed as the rotation of the Earth, so that it looks fixed. Okay, so whenever we want to have a continuous monitoring for 24/7, we will be placing it in the geosynchronous or the geostationary orbit. Okay, so this is going to be the circular orbit. So here, what is the angle of inclination for this geosynchronous or geostationary orbit? Can anyone tell? What is the angle of inclination for the geosynchronous or the geostationary orbit? Sandeep has answered 0. Yes, as we have discussed. So the angle of inclination for the geosynchronous or geostationary orbit, it is going to be 0 because it is perfectly above the equator. And this is one such example of the geosynchronous orbit that is placed in the low Earth orbit, low Earth orbit, which is very closer to the Earth's atmosphere. And this one for this is the angle of inclination, and for this you see this is across the polar region. So these satellites will be taken with the help of launched with the help of PSLVs. Do you remember? GSLV, PSLV. PSLV means Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. So they will be placing the satellite across this region, polar. So the satellite will be rotating across the polar poles, North Pole and South Pole. For some applications also, we have to make use of the entire utilization of all the places. So otherwise it will be so congested, is it not? So for based on the requirement and our usage, we decide the orbital planes, whether it has to be in the geostationary or geosynchronous, whether it is going to be the low Earth orbits or it is going to be in the polar satellite. So what is the angle of inclination in case of this polar orbit? Can anyone tell? Yes, 90 degree. Karthik V. Very good, ma. Okay, so it is going to be 90 degrees. So now do you understand the difference? So we have discussed about the angle of inclination, what is ascending orbit, what is descending orbit, and how it is going to take an important role in deciding the elliptical and the circular orbit positions. Okay, so many has answered. Thank you. Thank you for your responses. Raghunath, Ratnasai, Sai Tarun, Suresh, Anjali. So many has responded. Rutvika also. Okay, so this is about the angle of inclination and other terminologies. So now let us see what is angle of elevation. So the angle of elevation means how it is elevated to the Earth's surface. So the angle of elevation of the satellite is the angle that appears between the line from the Earth station antenna to the satellite and the line between the Earth station antenna and the Earth's horizon. So first now we have decided, one second. Okay, ma'am. So this angle of first angle of inclination is decided for the orbital plane. So now angle of elevation is for the satellite. So at which angle it has to be positioned in that orbit so that it gives coverage to the Earth station. It sends signals to the Earth station. So what is that? The angle of elevation of a satellite is the angle that appears between the line from the Earth station antenna to the satellite. So it is an imaginary angle formed between the two lines. So the first line is going to be the line from the Earth station to the satellite and the line from the Earth station to the Earth's horizon. So what is horizon? Can anyone tell? Yes, it is tangent to the surface. So it is the imaginary line. So normally when we look at the sea, okay, so you see surface, since because due to the Earth's curvature beyond which we will not be able to see. So it will be looking like a straight line. So that imaginary line is going to be the horizon. You understand? So the line at which the Earth's surface and the sky appear to meet. Yes, very good. So that is going to be the horizon. So it is an imaginary line. So it is the angle formed between angle formed between the two lines. The first line is going to be the line from the Earth station antenna to the satellite and the line between the Earth station antenna to the Earth's horizon. So if the angle of elevation is too small, the signals between the Earth station and the satellite have to pass through much more of the Earth's atmosphere. So this angle of elevation determines what is that position of the range of coverage of the satellite. So now let us see the pictorial representation. So it is going to be the angle of elevation. You see, so this is the antenna, the Earth station antenna. It is going to be the elliptical orbit. So this angle of elevation is going to be the angle formed between the two lines. First line is from the Earth station to the satellite and the Earth station to the Earth's horizon. So this is going to be the horizon. Okay, so this is going to be the angle of elevation. Okay, so at this position, we need to place the satellite for focusing the Earth station, which will give a good coverage of signals. So this is for the elliptical orbit. So this is about the angle of elevation of a satellite. Okay, do you understand this point? So I repeat, the angle of elevation of a satellite is an angle formed between the line that is drawn from the Earth station to the satellite and the line drawn from the Earth station to the Earth's horizon. So this is going to be the angle of elevation, which gives the maximum coverage to the Earth station. Okay, so this is for positioning the face of the satellite. Okay, so this, because of very low powers used and high absorption of the Earth's atmosphere, it is desirable to minimize the amount of time that the signals that are spent in the atmosphere. And this angle of elevation, we need to talk about the noises in the atmosphere also, because which is going to affect the coverage of signals. Okay, so noises in the atmosphere also contributes to the poor performance and lower the angle of radiation and more time the signal that is spent in the atmosphere. So practically, the minimum practical angle of elevation for a good satellite performance, it should be 5 degrees. Okay, so higher the angle of elevation, the better is the full coverage. So minimum angle of elevation, you should have 5 degrees. And maximum, higher the angle of elevation, you will have better performance and the good coverage of signals from the satellite to the Earth station. Do you understand? So what are the topics we have discussed today? The two important topics, there is the angle of inclination for the orbital plane and the angle of elevation for the satellite for good coverage of signals from the satellite to the Earth station. Do you understand? Yes. And somebody was asking how to register for that exam. Okay. So are you able to see my screen? Yes or not? Yes. You see, so this is about that courses I told you, no. So you can Google it probably. Uh, you can Google it. The free courses, ISRO launching free 3 online courses. The first link it is going to be the, what is that? One second. It is going to be IIRS EduSat. Okay. So in that, you can go and register. Some of you are asking. So it is going to start from October 9th to October 29th. Online registration form is here. And this is the schedule of the course. So probably you can open the schedule. I think I have already opened. Yeah, it is starting from 9th October. So the time it is going to be 4 to 5 and 5 to 5:30. It is going to be very interactive session also. Very interesting. All the people are going to be from, what is that, from ISRO and other reputed institutes. You can make use of it. It is not going to affect your online class as well. Okay, make use of it. And here, this is the online registration form. You can go here, you can select your course. So 2 courses are open for you. First one is outreach program on RS and GIS application and basics of geo computation and geo web services. So you can choose whichever you want. Okay, choose that and it will be asking for your credentials. So the institute name, it is all there uploaded. Our Satyabama is already been a registered university, you see. Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology, and also we have the Center for Remote Sensing and Geoinformatics. You see, our Director Research ma'am, in her name, it has been registered already with ISRO. Probably you can give your credentials here. You can select your institute's name and you can fill in your credentials and register that. Okay, you can do it and take up the course. And in the brochure also, they have given it the courses for free for students. So make use of it. And also we have another course as well. That is Okay, you can all take up in this link. Okay, it is very easy. iirs.gov.in. Okay. What are the advantages of doing these two courses? So you will be probably will be learning more information about, and there will be lot of opportunities. You will be getting, you can get in touch with ISRO. So a lot of opening opportunities are there. Probably it is going to be an interactive session. You will get an identity if you are being a active participant there. So it is an eye-opening for you to get final year projects. You can do your internships there as well as your final year projects, and also placements also. It is going to be an added advantage for you. Okay, good day to you. Thank you. We'll see you in the tomorrow's class.